Hey, what's good YouTube? My name's Gray, you're watching Video Holocaust, where today I look at the latest installment of the franchise with more bite than Luis Suarez, as last month, after 26 years of hibernation, those ferocious flesh-eating furries, the Critters, are back. But are they simply queuing for their horror pension, or do they have the smell of blood and the fresh energy needed to sink their teeth into a new generation? Let's find out. Now, my enthusiasm for this film was tepid at best before sitting down to watch, so the fact that within the opening minute my nerves were being grated on like someone running nails along a blackboard made me think that this was going to be a long afternoon. But if I could sit through Men in Black International without chewing out my own eyeballs, I wasn't gonna let this film beat me. But before I can review it properly, we need to establish what it actually is. A sequel, a remake, or a reboot, because it sort of falls into a weird halfway house where clearly someone in the movie knows about Krites, as Dee Wallace-Stone, the mother from the first movie, is back. And between her and Linda Hamilton in Terminator Dark Fate, it seems gilfs with guns is actually now a thing, as she struts about in the heavily armed bounty hunter role, looking for the recently landed ravenous alien furballs of the title. Now, for those of you not overly familiar with the Critters franchise as a whole, it originally consisted of 4 movies made between 1986 and 1992. The first 2 of which, clearly based on Gremlins, added enough new ideas to foster a fan base of their own. The third entry, while disappointing, can at least lay claim to be the film debut of a very young Leonardo DiCaprio. The fourth, well, is utter dog shit. But while you don't need to have seen any of these movies to follow the events of the latest entry in this long dormant series, they are, however, excellent movies in their own right, and if you haven't seen them, are indeed worth a watch. Except for part 4, of course. Now, one new thing this movie does is introduce a white-haired female critter that is suggested travel to Earth to stop the males from having any fun in a literal battle of the sexes. But if all the other critters in the movie are male, why then do we see them reproduce in a completely not ripped off from aliens, no really, wink wink, gestate in a live host, which also screws with the canon of the previous movies, in which they hatch from eggs. But it would be interesting if they showed different critters' species. Sadly, I think they're saving that for more sequels. And more sequels are more or less guaranteed, as the Sci-Fi Channel bought the rights with full intention of wringing every last penny from its few remaining fans. But while this is the 5th film in the Critters series, Sci-Fi also picked up the rights to make sequels to another 80s movie, Killer Clowns from Outer Space, which, despite lots of rumours and speculation over the years, never got a follow-up, and I for one would be very interested to see where they go with this one. Well, I've danced around the deflection maypole long enough. It's time I told you exactly what I thought of the movie. Is it worth your time and money? Well, despite initially thinking I would be giving the film a right royal Video Holocaust fist chagrin, I actually thought it was alright in the end. Not bad, not great, but alright. A lot of that might have to do with the use of good old-fashioned puppetry and animatronics over shitty CGI, which pleasantly surprised me. I think the biggest disappointment of the movie, however, would have to be how fragile the critters turn out to be. You'd think there'd be nothing but teeth and muscle, but when caught, they're shown to be more like puppies wanting their bellies rubbed. And oh yeah, why were the barbs they fire to down prey, a series staple, so ineffective this time? In previous movies, these things could have dropped a concrete Andre the Giant. Here, however, they're treated like literally nothing, as if the filmmakers are taking the piss. Overall, if you're a fan of the originals, you might get a kick out of it. If not, there's very little originality or gory spectacle to please new horror fans, but it's nowhere near as terrible as many of the online reviews would have you believe. Interesting bit of trivia, this movie was written by Scott Lobdell, a name that should be familiar to you if you grew up reading Uncanny X-Men comics in the 90s. Overall, Critters Attack feels more like a retread of familiar ground rather than a bold new step for the series. With sequels all but guaranteed, putting the human stars in a little bit more peril would have been nice. But this being a TV movie essentially, maybe there were censorship issues. The movie is out now in the States and out at the end of August here in the UK, and while fun if forgettable, in true horror movie tradition, I look forward to how they fuck it up in the future. So my name's Gray, you've been watching Video Holocaust, more videos coming your way very soon, so thank you very much for watching, and goodbye.